Tell me exactly the role that you think that finance and investment play when it comes to space exploration and meeting sustainable goals.
I'm a venture capital investor, so I look for moonshots, literally, that range from a variety of industries. And I focus on investing in space companies that are compared to the rest of our portfolio of SaaS companies. The difference with space companies is you have to design, build, test, and launch assets into space, which often take longer and are a little bit more capital intensive than a software company that changes a line of code, pushes it into the ether and gets a response. So from a venture capital perspective, we have to be really selective over what companies are going to get that return on our investment within some time horizon, ideally ringing a bell within 5 to 7 years. And venture capital is only 2%, it's a 2% asset class. It's a very small percentage of the overall, and space companies need a combination of venture capital, debt, government grants, and ideally bootstrapping with customer revenue.
And tell me about your aerospace background. You were at SpaceX. How do you implement what you have learned into where you sit today?
While I was at SpaceX, I did not even know venture capital existed, to be honest. I just thought companies grew up and became public. I had just graduated and got my dream job working on integrating government satellites with the Falcon 9 rocket. And it was back in grad school that I discovered this entire industry was there, that you can, rather than be a technical engineer at a single company, you can still be a technical aerospace engineer, but investing in the ecosystem. So now, being that technical engineer, as a partner at my firm, investing in companies, I have a technical background, I have a technical foundation. I had to learn the finance things on the job, but I genuinely, fundamentally understand how to drive the rocket equation and the physics behind it. Now, the CEOs of my companies have forgotten more than I'll ever know, but it's a different way of approaching the problem or approaching the boardroom.
Amazing. What are the biggest trends that you are seeing in the space sector right now?
Today, what's next? What's the next technical catalyst or momentum driver in the space industry? And there are hundreds of companies who think they are it. They range from mining asteroids in space, to pharmaceutical testing in space, manufacturing in space, creating space stations in low Earth orbit, lunar colonization, etc. While the aerospace engineer in me is very excited about all of those, the investor in me that needs a shorter return on her investment doesn't think the time is right now from a venture capital investment to invest in those. I think those are 10 plus years off and not a good fit for my form of capital. However, in the meantime, we're getting pictures from space every day. A New York Stock Exchange company called Spire Global and Planet, both trading on NYSE, are listening and observing our Earth every day. We're also going to get our ubiquitous internet connectivity from space, whether that's space like Starlink, Amazon's Kuiper. So in the near term future, there are very exciting things ahead.
Very exciting things ahead. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Trinity.